So he wanted to see that what is Indian architecture. They were taking all the schools of Indian architecture in stages. And from 1921, it went up to 1937 to develop Udayan in stages. I had the opportunity in documenting on behalf of Vishwabharati. I had some assignment. Believe me, I could not find any expansion joint or the construction joints in this building. It has got the basement, it has got a tunnel, and it is a Kodi Borga, steel Kodi Borga design, brick architecture. It's very difficult to have a sunken floor. I will show you the sunken floor. So this is the time when Rabindranath was writing, "E Jagotra jeno akarer mohajatra." So if you go through his work, literary work, his painting, his drama, and if you go back to his team's work in Santiniketan, somehow or other there are a lot of relations, but there is no tablet. That's a very interesting part of this Santiniketan built environment, Sriniketan built environment. There is no tablet. So you need to interpret within yourself, with yourself, placing your mind. So it may take many years, many days, but finally it will come, Shesh Shaptak. So Shesh Shaptak is not just the book of poems. It is also a cue to Udayan. If you look at Udayan or Uttarayan development, Shesh Shaptak, if you relate this, you will have a lot of cue to this Udayan. It's very interesting. So interestingly, you can find that, the Punascho, the postscript, and Punascho is also Kabbograntho, the book of poems. And Punascho is also postscript of his life. He was very seriously ill, and he was staying in Shamoli, and he said, "I would like to go to a place which I will be only doing painting." So Punascho was created like that, Punascho. And then the Udichi, the last retreat, even the water well, you see the water well, the pump room. See, can we think of making a very small element, maybe very micro scale element, but it is a full of art in architecture. It's the fullest form of architecture. And you will find one of the common element of Santiniketan architecture is a corbelling. This corbelling was taken, and this is one of the Uttarayan garden, created by Rathi Babu. This is Rabindranath's creation. This is when he said that Nil Akasher Sange Ranga Matir Mitali. Is it a song? Is it just a song or a song offerings in built forms? So this is what the landscape is getting ready in and around the Santiniketan, later on the Vishwabharati. We call it an environmental broader lens, not borderlands, but broader lens. This is a humanization. So this is also developing. So today is a Baldapur Abhayavaranya. You will find this forest cover. So Kopai was always inspiration for the campus. It is very, very inspiring. Kopai is very much inspiring. And as you know, in Punascho and Shamoli, you will have Kopai. The entire poem is dedicated to Kopai. And that is something we need to read more and more Kopai to understand the riverology and the future river life of India, at least our environmental life of India, environmental civilization of India. Yes, he was for a long time thinking that I have to keep the mortar, the stone into a shame. And this is the time he wanted the campus, the ashram, to learn more and more from the folk and tribal civilization in and around Santiniketan. Santiniketan is fortunately having an anthropological habitat. There are distinct 4 tribal hamlets within the campus, and they were settling almost during Devendranath's time. And Santiniketan is proud that Rabindranath thought that they are the best friends of Vishwabharati. And he wrote a letter to Vishwabharati, so Rabindranath, unless and until we create a two-way learning and forming or for making process with our neighborhood, one day will come যখন বিশ্বভারতীর অস্তিত্ব বিপন্ন হবে. We often call that he could not understand, he could not imagine this will happen. But I can show you hundreds of documents where he predicted, forecasted that this is going to happen. I have written a Tagore Rothibabu's biography, and you will find the sensational documents are there. He was forecasting what is going to happen in Vishwabharati, the Santiniketan. So he was saying that Shamoli would be my expression. If it is the rock-cut architecture of Chaitya, this can be mud-built architecture of Chaitya. And he did it. And Ram Kinkor, Rothibabu, Pratima Devi, Suren Babu, Nandalal and Kala Bhavan. And you will see the Shamoli. This is the Indus Valley Civilization seal. And look at Shamoli, again the mud relief work, wonderful mud relief work. And that is the rare side of the Shamoli. This is another side of the Shamoli, so very ecologic. Invitation of the sun rays coming into the body. This is called humanization of a built form. So Shamoli is humanized through this. And this is Kalubadi. Kalubadi is a student hostel. And Kalabhavan students are also here. A lot of students are here, I find. So they know this building quite well. This is a hostel building. And that's Tejas Chandra Sen's house. This is an old palm tree during Devendranath's time, which has been taken as a centroid of this circular cottage called Talodhaj, which was created by Tejas Chandra Sen. This has a lot of relevance in Santiniketan, style of architecture. This is onto the nature, within the nature, almost organically developed from the nature. So in Bonobani Kabbo, there is a poem, it's a long poem called Kutir Bashi. So he was appreciating this wonderful architecture created by Tejas Chandra Sen, which is still there in Santiniketan, and appreciating this kutir, the hut, and the kutir bashi, the person who is living there, Tejas Chandra Sen. A lot of experimentation took place. You see the Bali Mejen is working. Bali Mejen was a part of the team creating the Shamoli. This is the tree hut, was created in 1926 by Kasahara. Two paku tree, above the two paku tree, this the tree house was created. And that was the time Rabindranath was staying in the first floor of the tree house. And Gandhiji was throughout the campus. And after Rabindranath, Gandhiji took a real responsibility in seeing that Vishwabharati continues the spirit in the future generations. As you know, the Santiniketan have lot of festivals, seasonal festivals. So it has a dance, it has a drama, it has a performing space and performing art combined together. It is still continued as Utsav. This is one of the wonderful sitting place called Mrinmoyi. And we found a wonderful record that during the summer when Gandhiji used to come to ashram, Gandhiji used to stay during the night. He used to sleep there. And Rani Chandra explained a wonderful description of this, that how Gandhiji used to sleep in Mrinmoyi. He used to love this. And can we not create such thing in the 21st century? A lot of resorts we are creating, a lot of expansive housing we are creating. Can we not create such thing very small, beautiful, and it's a meeting place. And you can also, go within yourself. That's one of the, functional form of the space which was created like that. We need to recreate such thing, maybe getting inspiration for such things, And that is Santiniketan, Rural Reconstruction Center. And Rabindranath always thinking about them. And they were part of the Santiniketan movement, rural reconstruction, that was established in 1922 after Vishwabharati. This is, Shamuli in the full form. And 1937, he was coming more and more to the ground arts, the friend of the earth. He himself went to the Pearson Pulli, the Shantal village. They were their real friends. And Holocarshan and Briksharopan Utsav was done in 1937. You can see that Rabindranath nije bolode hal dichen. This is the time after his last visit from Europe in 1930. He started saying that Prithibi khub shukhe nei. He had seen the world by himself. Geddes, H.G. Wells, Romarola, Einstein, series of personalities. And Patrick Geddes has said very distinctly that this is a one person of the art, Rabindranath, who predicted during his Hibbert lecture that you have gone to extreme and this is not going to do any good of the humanity of the world. And he sensed a kind of a disaster is going to arrive, and it arrived. And such a disaster. And when he said the crisis of civilization, he said it, all right, but it was known to him by heart. From post-1930, 30 to 41, 1930 to 41, there was development in Santiniketan built environment, and there was a development of the queuing of taking a Rabindranath vision, going more and more to the village, going more and more learning from them, and establishing a format of the common environmental knowledge. I must say that during the last 1.5 years, very distinctly 1.5 years, I'm seeing, and I'm fortunate to be involved into it, from America, from Europe, they are taking projects, Santiniketan urbanism, Santiniketan built environment, Santiniketan architecture and Rabindranath. Even today, in the last week, I was in IIT Kharagpur. A Fulbright, very senior scholar is here. He's 30 years, she was teaching in Illinois Urbana-Champaign. Her project is Santiniketan architecture. The last year, MIT, Massachusetts, they came, and I was involved with IIT, MIT. 1 month they were there in Kharagpur, and their project is Santiniketan architecture, Rabindranath. And about 1.5 months back, a scholar from a university in America and a scholar from Moscow came. They had a discussion with me, and then finally they were taken to Santiniketan. I think Bulu guided them in Santiniketan, and the curators and all. Their project again, Santiniketan architecture. So I asked them, Massachusetts, Illinois, Moscow, why Rabindranath? Why Santiniketan architecture? So many projects. This is happening 1.5 years, I'm telling you. Very interesting answer a lady gave me. Many answers I got it, but I don't want to take your time away. But a lady, she has given a wonderful answer. That we are under a heavy pressure. We are under a heavy pressure. We are now understanding what is called heavy pressure all over the world. And the relief is Rabindranath. And we have to go back to him to re-understand the art and bring back the art into the harmony. That is the aim of life. That is the aim of the knowledge civilization of the world. This is, I'm very proud to say that this is happening. Rabindranath is sitting in Punoscho, and you can see that, just behind him, a kind of a Torana window is there, and just opposite to him, another Torana window is there, and there is no roof covering. Very interesting installation. Very, very interesting. And a half circular. It's a half circular. And the stairway is coming in another curvilinear form. Rabindranath is sitting. The boy. It's a very interesting installation. That a window without the roof, he could have created another room. He did not, because fund was not permitting. Sahoj, Sharol, Sundar. Good, beautiful, true. That's a fundamental which we are now discussing. We are showing this. So he thought that, early morning, he writes, he talks, he reads, the sun ray may be coming and it may be a problem. So Shuren Babu constructed that. One day he told Shuren Saheb, he used to call Shuren Babu ke Shuren Saheb. Those days, they used to call Saheb to call an engineer. Shuren Saheb, ছন্দটা যেন কিরকম একটা হচ্ছে না. He could have said very clearly, why don't you consider something to reconstruct a rhythm? But he said, something, rhythm, so another this. So this is a way, the built forms or the architecture or the engineering were being created in Santiniketan, which is close to his life, like this. This is very interesting. That earlier stage when I was working in the Santiniketan architecture work, I could find that the urn is there. Roti Babu kept this urn in a very wonderful, decent manner. And the urn, above that's a mud architecture Choitto. That is a display and notice board of Vishwabharati. Nandalal Bose created, and before that, in the foreground, you can see another urn, which was created by Rabindranath again with the concrete. And this is an urn, and that is another concrete architecture, the great environmental sculpture of Ram Kinkar. And that's an ecologic sitting of Uttarayan. The great personalities we talk about, I have just talked about, in Santiniketan, right from Elmhurst to Geddes, Pearson, they used to sit there and discuss, take decisions. Believe me, if you go to a nature, if you sit in the nature, you will be able to take a better decision. That was understood by the Santiniketan Samaj. The Santiniketan, the habitat of the green Samaj, Sambuj Samaj, they understood this. That if you have to be with the nature, then you will get a better fruit to progress. So this is, with a lot of research we could find it out, that Roti Babu has interestingly placed this in Uttarayan. This is nothing but the Ganga Jaler Ghora, which is to be there, which is to be kept in Jorashako Thakurbadi in the ground floor. We have restored that. You will find that in Jibon Sriti, Rabindranath talked about the Ganga Jaler Ghora during Dwarkanath's time. So Roti Babu took that Ganga Jaler Ghora to Santiniketan, kept it as a gardenscaping or the landscaping as an installation, and this is called cultural continuity. The living life of a life were continued into a campus through certain amount of setting and the landscaping, which is also in front of us in Santiniketan. This was created during Devendranath's time. This was created by Rabindranath's time. And some of the painting you will find that of Rabindranath is inspired from this built form. There are saying, and we could find out from our research, if Rabindranath has given many things to Santiniketan, Santiniketan equally have contributed to Rabindranath's life. It is absolutely in equilibrium. The fund of knowledge of Santiniketan and then Rabindranath have a wonderful rhythm, the great harmony. You can read and then understand what he said there about the rhythm. That is a fundamental of his work. This is one of the work I would like to say here, that the first environmental delete work was done in 1928, Au Pays de Tagore, in French language. That is name is called In the Land of Tagore. Highly documented work, and Rabindranath's more than 10 songs were transliterated by Arthur Geddes, son of Patrick Geddes, and included in the environmental delete work. And it was published in Paris in 1928. And can you imagine that, in the name of Rabindranath, environmental delete work is done in 1928, Au Pays de Tagore. So we need to go back to more on this. Tagore once said in his one of the poetry that Rachana korechi dekha. Can we claim today that we have created, we have scripted how to see about the world around you? So Rabindranath said in his one of the poetry, Rachana korechi dekha. Whenever he was saying something in his Western lectures, he was expressing everything which is nothing but the realized truth. That is why the people were saying absolutely vivid. In the Hibbert lecture, Religion of Man, when he was saying that it's a time that technology civilization, humanistic civilization must be in the rhythm, must come to rhythm. In 1930, and we all know what will happen after that, within 10 years of that. And this is what Rathi Babu interpreted, Rachana korechi dekha. So Santiniketan is a laboratory. It is a laboratory of the head, heart and hand. Look at the Ramkinkar Rathi Babu's work, Chitrabhanu, Guhaghar. This is the interior, and Pratima Devi's ceramic work. This is some of the concrete furniture you can see in the extreme